What do we do as humans? We need, we seek, we discover, we cooperate. That's the gist of our story for today. Need was the trigger, and cooperation was the outcome. That being said, welcome to Stories Podcast. Welcome to Stories Podcast. Today we are going to read Jungle Treasures, a Southeast Asian folktale, retold by Anna Harris. So, get your books or your PDFs and let's begin. Chapter 1: The People of Borat. Once, on the edge of the jungle, there was a village called Borat. The people who lived in this village were very shy and timid. They hated to travel far from home. They always felt awkward talking to people from other places. Tall trees surrounded the village. Large orange fruit grew in these trees. The fruit looked as if it would be sweet and juicy. But the people of Borat didn't like how it tasted. It was so sour it made their lips pucker. They named it sour fruit. The villagers liked another kind of tree. The trees they liked were sapwood trees. The villagers used the resin from sapwood trees as a fuel. They burned the resin in their lamps. This meant they could sit and talk by lamplight in the evenings. Unfortunately, sapwood trees grew all the way over on the other side of the jungle. Chapter 2: Living in Darkness. One night, the people of Borat ran out of resin. The last of the lamps flickered and then went out. "What will we do now?" one villager asked. "One of us will have to go on a long journey to find more sapwood trees." Another decided. "I'll go," a young man volunteered. After 3 days of walking through the jungle, the young man arrived at a village called Timor. What he saw there gave him a terrible surprise. People with axes were gathered around the largest sapwood tree. The villagers were about to cut down the tree that produced the most resin. The man from Borat was alarmed. "Stop!" he said furiously, running toward the villagers. "What are you doing? You can't get rid of these wonderful trees." "These trees are useless," said a man from the village. "Yes, we voted and agreed to cut them all down," said another. "And you shouldn't interfere in the affairs of our village," added a third. "But the people from my village used the resin from sapwood trees as a fuel," said the man from Borat. "If you cut them down, we'll have to sit around in darkness every night." Chapter 3: Very Useful Trees. The people of Timor were very surprised by this news. The man from Borat agreed to show the people of Timor how to collect the resin from sapwood trees. The people of Timor agreed that the man from Borat should take a Timor woman back to his village. Then she could see for herself how useful sapwood trees really were. The next day, the young man from Borat and the woman from Timor set off together. 3 days later, the pair arrived at the village of Borat. But what the woman from Timor saw there was a terrible shock. People with axes were gathered around the oldest sour fruit tree. The villagers were about to cut down the tree that produced the most fruit. The woman from Timor was alarmed. "Stop!" she said furiously, running toward the villagers. "What are you doing? You can't get rid of these wonderful trees." "These trees have sour fruit," said a woman from the village. "It falls to the ground and rots, and then it creates a smelly mess," another woman added. "So we decided to cut the trees down," added a third. "But sour fruit are so useful." "My people cut the fruit up and dry it in the sun," said the woman from Timor. "Then we put it into our cooking to add flavor. Sour fruit trees only grow on this side of the jungle. If you cut them down, we won't be able to cook our tastiest dishes." Chapter 4. Working Together. That night, the woman from Timor put on a big feast for all the people of Borat. She included dried sour fruit in many of the dishes she cooked. She showed the villagers of Borat how to prepare meals using the fruit. The food was laid out on long tables. The tables were lit with lamps fueled by resin from sapwood trees. The whole event was a big success. "This food is delicious," declared the man from Borat. "It's so nice not to sit around in the dark," said the woman from Timor. "We must attempt to talk more often," said the man from Borat. "I agree," said the woman from Timor. The villagers decided they would not cut down a single tree. The people of Borat started to put dried sour fruit in their cooking. The people of Timor began to burn resin in the lamps at night. In this way, the two villages worked together to solve their problems. What were the solutions? They traded sour fruit for resin, and vice versa. People of Borat and people of Timor, you nailed it. We could never ask for a better end, could we? Well, I sincerely hope you enjoyed your time today, guys. See you all next week.